canonical timeline where there could be Sans versus Minecraft Steve at an Evo in Grand Finals. That's a reality in a timeline we live in right now. Was I on the excited train for Minecraft Steve? I'll be honest, no. But it's because the game didn't really sit with me. But this character right here, Banjo-Kazooie, is actually one that I did enjoy and a lot of people didn't like. So you're in deference to what other people choose. Just don't, extremely hate on someone for being happy for the character getting in the game. That's all I'm going to say. Some people have been excessive. We'll talk a little bit more about that after this. What do you think about this matchup in a nutshell?
Palutena versus Banjo. I'm not even sure. I mean, this is Palutena succeeds primarily on being a defensive character. That is what that is how Palutena was conceived in her original iteration, but also original iteration wasn't all that great. So now you kind of get the benefit of these hitboxes. I mean, I don't know if there was one move that defined how the game was played more than Palutena's Nair, to be completely honest, throughout the first year of the game's life cycle. And now you're dealing with this ultra defensive character where if you make one wrong jump or you just move the wrong place, Banjo will make you pay for it. And certainly that Wonder Wing waiting in the wings. And always good to show it and make sure that it's established. But, I mean, that doesn't necessarily preclude you from pulling out when the opposition least expects it. So it really is just going to come down to really just who the smarter player is, or really the most educated player in a particular matchup. And Skew has shown that they are quite capable with the giant burly bear in tournaments past. There are definitely less weird ways of putting that, but nevertheless, Palutena has shown that they are more than capable of succeeding, whether online or off.
Yeah, definitely one of the more defensive characters for sure. And really, we talk about pace control being so important in Smash as a whole. Then you fight these two characters, both of them do exactly that. The difference here is, though, Banjo has the option to zone and zone break with that Wonder Wing, like you just saw, being able to get by when Palutena decides to retreat back in these situations like this. So there's options available, but you got to give it to Plus, not falling for a lot of the zoning mix-ups, like trying to bait a movement option in, because that's really where a lot of Banjos succeed. They got good out-of-shield options, they got good kill options like that side B right there, and that was a great way to do that. Also, something super slept on is their ability to avoid invincibility and kind of stall you out. Good job by Plus going out there and shutting that down right away.
But now as we go into this situation, 2 stocks apiece, and again, about as even as you are going to find throughout the course of this game. And especially what I'm not really too certain on, I can give you perhaps the basics of this matchup. I'm not really sure how this works on Smashville. My mind says that the advantage would go to Palutena just because you have the aerials with which to make up for the maybe, I don't know, sometimes you want a little bit more space. As Banjo, you can definitely make it work, but your aerials, especially your Nair, is simply not going to beat out Palutena's if it comes to that sort of coin flip sort of interaction.
I think, in my view, I think the main reason why they probably went here, or at least if Skew would want to go here, is between these two, I think that Palu definitely succeeds better on the wider stage like a PS2 and going to be closing out that stock with the Wonder Wing. Having abilities to do like that, like being only 3 characters apart at all times, to be able to cover a kill with the Wonder Wing is huge by comparison to being so far away and like a PS2 if Plus chose to even camp out in the first place.
And I definitely can see that. However, we have seen examples of aggressive Palutena being bearing many fruits for those who choose to employ that sort of playstyle. And as the down throw and up air is going to confirm that second stock for is that a plus or is that an asterisk? Hang on a second. It is a plus.
That's a plus.
Right on, man. Stylized names, you gotta love it. This is
I like the fact that the tag, the tag is plus, but the in-game tag is minus, screwing everybody up.
Oh yeah, this is okay. So for Splatoon tournaments, there is a rule where you have to have your name match the on-screen thing, and I'm going to be willing to bet that that's just Skew giving karmic payback for going against that particular rule. That's going to be my explanation for this. And we are going to get game number 2 going, but not before Skew reaps the rewards of a well-deserved victory in game number 1 as we take a look at the replay of the last stock.
Yeah, right here's a situation you got to now think about down the line in the future, because when you get grounded there, it's a mix-up. Are they going to go for the up smash, or are they going to read the mash out with the up tilt? And now that's going to be buried in the back of the mind of Plus. It's like, oh, read the mash out right there, so went for the up tilt. Are they going to do that again next time? Are they going to go for the up smash, or are they going to read, then I'm going to mash again? And on last stock, dumb, scary situation to have to deal with, and it's already stressful enough trying to react to that and then mash out immediately. Especially with the world that we're living in, the online world. So excellently played by Skew. Definitely something that on paper I assumed that Palutena would do very well in this matchup, and Skew played it phenomenally.
So we are going to see this matchup continue at Pokemon Stadium. You said wider stages, Ajax, and well, you called it.
Yeah, definitely counterpicking over to PS2 because of, I think, exactly the reason we mentioned. In that first game, there was a little bit too much comfort for Skew to just go in and box. And continuing to do so right now, wasting absolutely no time, going 0 to 91 unchecked, trying to look for another F-tilt to keep Plus off stage, and still holding down this defensive play. I am really impressed so far with the beginning of this match.
Yeah, and it's Skew really not showing any fear, but also Plus might do better to employ that little bit more of a keep away style and slow the proceedings of the game down just a little bit. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean going away from the aerial, those boxing options that Palutena has, but if you have the means with which to keep your distance, especially if your things that go far go further faster than Banjo's things, means of zoning, you might as well utilize that. But when you are getting a bear in your face utilizing a Wonder Wing, that's generally hard to deal with, Ajax.
Yeah, trying to just guess an outer shield option or landing off a platform, and then you get checked by it like that Wonder Wing we saw a second ago. And also, Skew not afraid to play the long game. This is a character that a lot of people, I think, in my opinion, sleep on, especially for the ability to play, like, not only like the Mario archetype for the brawler, but very similar in S to a Snake style, being able to hang back and put this type of wall in front. That gets super tilting super fast, and a good way to answer somebody who likes to jump in front of you a lot is putting out a strong up smash like that. So good job by Plus calling that right there.
Continuing on, I mean, it's not even like Plus has been playing a poor game. It's just that Skew has been able to play, I mean, utilizing the keep away tactics just a little bit more effectively. Maybe there are ways to limit Skew's options that Plus is not recognizing right this very moment, but you gotta wonder when the adaptation does come in, Skew may very well be in for a world of hurt. Might be a little less prone to utilize that up B above the stage if Plus starts getting wise to that. And oh my gosh, the
betrayal of the own grenade, getting caught up top of the explosion, and like you were just talking about with Plus, definitely making a solid switch up here. I think they kind of caught on to the fact that not only has there been quite a bit of an aggressive play style, attacking where they are instead of where they will be, which is a pretty common thing that happens with people. Plus is recognized, like, okay, you like to move out of disadvantage a lot. You like to swing out of disadvantage a lot as well with these grenades. Let me go ahead and just wait for you to act first and punish accordingly. And we've seen a complete change of game pace here.
And now it's going to be Skew evening things up. So this is winner side stock for Plus here, as we are going to get a down throw into the back air as solid as it comes, and Plus will find themselves in a one-to-one situation. Not a bad game all in all. And just as we saw, I mean, I was kind of expecting it to be a slower game right after the first minute had passed, and I was expecting Plus to make that adjustment, but didn't seem to deviate away from the game plan, still showing a lot of fearlessness with their play. It's admirable. I'm just wondering, Ajax, is it sustainable, especially on Skew's counterpick?
I think it's heavily stage dependent. If we get a wider stage like what we saw a second ago, maybe. But really, a lot of it came down to the fact that just there were so many times where Plus was getting caught a lot trying to attack in disadvantage, like we were talking about before. Then all of a sudden it went to, okay, you act first. And every time that started to happen, Plus came away with it. Moved towards the ledge to bait out a Wonder Wing, and would grab, throw back off, wait for the act off of a platform. Got caught twice, but you're not going to avoid all of them. But Plus definitely caught on to Skew's aggressive play out of those spots, and that made a magnificent change. So I think we got to see something out of Skew here, and we're actually going to see a run back to Smashville.
See, this is interesting. I'm not really sure if letting Skew back to Smashville is the best idea in the world. But yeah, here comes that Nair, and Plus says, if you want to step into the octagon, I'm more than willing to strap on my gloves and fight, especially when that glove in question happens to be that shield, which has proven to be effective thus far and will certainly loom large as Game 3 rolls on.
Yeah, I think, that down tilt working wonders right now, completely shutting that whole attempt down. I like the idea of putting that forward smash right there, too, because majority of the time, Skew, or actually Banjos in general, one of the safest options off the ledge, of course, is drop down and go for that side B rising up. So just putting that out there preemptively. But I think the only reason why we probably was allowed to come back here is there's got to be another stage that Plus fears the idea of Banjo on more, maybe a tri-flat, or maybe something else. And after that last game, too, you got to be feeling a bit more relaxed. And that ledge trapping game has definitely improved. We're already seeing a nice damage difference here between the two.
Now we're rolling through and seeing the that Skew is slowing down the game, but what are your eggs when I can summon fire is the question that Plus poses, and it seems to be a rhetorical question right now, as Skew has not really found an answer to it. It's going to be an aerial thrown straight into the face of Skew, and this recovery, we did kind of state how important it would be. The Wonder Wing is going to have to be the option that you go to above the ledge, I would think, if you're trying to keep safe from every single one of Plus's potential options. And Ajax right now, Skew has been feeling the brunt edge of the punishment here, suffering 170 points worth of damage. Seems like one poke of that staff could kill.
Yeah, this is still kind of crazy, too, the fact that Skew hasn't died yet and actually going to take the first stock, sitting at 183%. Skew was in pretty much the percent deficit most of that stock, and even missing out on a down throw into up tilt on the ledge that just barely missed, especially with it being up against the ledge, a lot easier to connect. So good job on Skew to hold it down, but we've already seen Plus is able to answer right back very quick, so you already saw a parry right there, looking for the option and get an answer with the dash attack. It's always good when somebody likes to scramble and you have invincibility armor on a couple of your options, such as that in the back air.
I am honestly shocked that you said something like scramble and did not somehow make the egg pun. I am impressed by your restraint, Ajax.
Wait, look. I try to keep myself behaved as much as possible. It only lasts so long. I had a commentary session with John Numbers yesterday, who dropped puns left and right, and I think I'm a little bit out of them right now. But right now,
good man. Like you show far more restraint than I will say that. In the forward tilt from Skew, going to loom large yet again. It's been an effective poking tool throughout the proceedings of this set, and certainly, if they are trying to garner stage control and maintain advantage, it's going to be one of those things where eventually Plus is going to run out of options. And sometimes it really just comes down to the numbers, doesn't it, Ajax? Where you're trying to guess someone's disadvantaged state. It might just come down to how many times you get the chance to guess, and eventually you're going to you get enough opportunities, you're going to guess right, and Plus simply running out of options there and is being taken down to their winner side stock.
Yeah, I was talking about the down tilts before from Palutena as well earlier. That down tilt from Banjo, also one of the more slept on moves pretty much in the game, as well as the toolkit. Like, F tilt is so good, but you saw the angle that they got sent at, and now Skew just pushing forward, looking for the air dodge maybe on stage, trying to bait out an idea of going off stage and go for maybe a fair at the ledge, but not going to get it, and then gets answered by Plus. So good job on Plus, somehow able to stop the bleeding there.
And now one stock to settle it. Only one of these two combatants can move on in winner's side, and it is going to be it's already kind of breaking down a little bit here for Plus as you're getting into a disadvantageous situation. And I kind of think back to that first stock, how efficient Skew was, and taking 183 points of damage, but still taking the first stock in the Wonder Wing. That is what happens when you are efficient with your stocks. Sometimes you have to make your own opportunities, and Skew certainly doing so and taking the set by a score of 2-1.
Such a stressful situation to be in. Last game, coming down to last hit, you're at kill percent, and there are multiple charges left on that Wonder Wing. You have to worry at any given point in time that trigger might get pulled, and if you make the mistake, it's gonna cost you. And Skew was waiting for it. Like, Skew started to use it a bit more on that second stock, but then pulled back and waited and knew at some point either short hop there or some kind of option that was going to be aggro was going to come out, and met with that absolutely amazing play from Skew, taking out a Palutena and like really showing like really impressive gameplay overall, Banjo.